We won't get into that. I've been going too long lately, and we all know it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. A lot of little stories today. I like this one. I like this that Apple did a crazy commercial. It's like 6 minutes, but we'll dig into it a little bit. We'll just start with it here, and I'll start playing it.
Whoa! What? No! Guys, does anyone have my iPad?
Close your eyes. Gently deepen your breath.
Babe, your boss is FaceTiming you.
What?
Vivian?
This is not good.
Morning.
Good morning.
So Project Pandora's box is back, and we need to present new designs on Monday. Oh, and it needs to be recyclable. Any questions?
Yeah, when you say recyclable.
Good.
No!
Good. I love
Project
that.
Pandora's box is back. We can't do this in 1 week. It's just a box.
But we're working from home, Bridget.
Exactly. And I have the kids all week.
And I have my mom all the time.
You say something, boo-boo?
It goes downhill
We
from
can
there,
totally do this,
but
okay?
it's
So
really
don't look at
fun.
the speed.
So I encourage you to watch it, and I'll try to remember to put the link at least on my YouTube channel. You can watch me on Periscope Live, and I see the hearts there, and I see the comments there. Yeah, nice to see you there, Kay. And just go over there to Periscope if you want to interact, or YouTube if you want to see the whole show, because I chop it up a little bit. Okay, so let's get back to the PDFs. Apple, so donuts. Donuts lead the way in return to normalcy. Packaging companies, both privately and owned and PE backed, closed on deals in June. So we're doing some deals, back to deals, and what that means is that we have some confidence in the long term. See that? Confidence in the long term economic outlook. That is good news. Everything that gets consumed still needs to be labeled box bags, bottled, or pouched. So the packaged goods packaging industry is back to life and acquiring, and so the big get bigger and the littlers get eaten. Okay, also in the print industry, key printing business indicators are showing improvement. Yay! And the NAPCO Research Printing United Alliance survey said it's, early on, sales were down 50% or 53% of printers had lower sales, but now it's only 30%, which doesn't sound like much, but here's what, nice graph here. Okay, so key indicators, mid-March, okay, key indicators turn up, sales, quotation activity is up, confidence is way up. Want you to know that. I got to check my stocks today. Let's see what happens with that. Now here in the miscellaneous, you'll never hear this anywhere else world, I found out the real reason why zebras have stripes. And yes, I know you thought it was to camouflage them from the lions and the cheetahs. Wrong. It turns out when you get back a little ways, not very far, the stripes all blend to gray, as you can kind of see in this picture. Okay? Step back a little and it's just a mess. Okay? So that isn't it. It turns out. And there's been lots of theories over the last 150 years. Well, it turns out that they actually have some zebras in captivity. And they studied how the flies land on the zebras. This is not a zebra. This is a horse dressed up in zebra clothes. So they tested it even on horses. And they found that zebras tend to inhabit places that have lots of like horse flies. We don't call them zebra flies, but they are the biting flies, which you don't like. And when you were swimming as a kid and the horse flies came around, you did all you could, like jump back in the water. Okay, so what happens is when the fly, let's make this little thing the fly. When the fly comes down and tries to land on the stripes, it gets disoriented somehow. Its tracking system does not connect right with random stripy patterns. Now they're testing actual real stripe, uniform stripes, and that doesn't seem to affect the flies. But when they're flying over the horse, they get disoriented, or the zebra. So now we know that it's camouflage of a sort, but not against the lions or the leopards or the cheetahs, but it's against the biting flies. Okay. And so here's a last one. With millions laid off, teens find jobs in unusual places. It turns out that only 23% of the 16 to 19-year-olds will work this summer. I'm not sure that's because there are no jobs. I got lots of jobs. Come on over to my house. You can trim the hedges. You can trim the yard. You can move some logs. A lot of it is that the teens don't want to work, and neither do the kids in the basement. It's just that simple. There's always something to do. Find an old person like me that needs some help around the yard, and you can find work. That's my advice to teens. And if you have any teens, you tell them old John said so. But that aside, after I graduated from high school, I spent the summer working in a factory, and boy, was that a good idea. It was 95, 100, and the guys in the factory were like, John, don't work so hard. You can just sit behind the piles of steel, and I'm thinking a nickel an hour. And I'm looking at these guys, and some of them had college degrees. A lot of them did. And they're just chunk, 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 chunk. I'm making $3 an hour thinking the world is my oyster. I don't think that was on the way to college. Yeah, it might have been. I didn't start working for my dad in advertising until between freshman and sophomore year. But anyway, I realized that it's really easy to lean against the steel piles and take a little nap. Really easy. And that some guys get trapped in that kind of work and never push themselves and never figure out what the world is about. So they're making jobs. They're creating these make work jobs. The Civid Corps, I don't know why they didn't call it the Corona Corps. That would have had a better ring to it. Tasks include distributing meals to food insecure families, giving tech tutorials to older people. But over here in Chicago, Connecticut, and Maryland, they're monitoring public spaces for social distancing, checking in at-risk populations, and promoting practices like mask wearing. So we got these little brown shirts running around informing on everybody who's using the park instead of staying home. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's a real good job. My brother lived in Moscow for a few years, and he said, they'd hire the little old ladies to go sweep off the park benches because everybody had work in the communist countries. So there's a lot of ways you can make work if you're a government, and you can pay a lot of money. But I'd say, come and help me with my yard. Anyway, but good old Texas. In Texas, there was a 13-year-old who came up with the idea of a Lego rental service. Who did I read? I read their book about how they rented comic books to the neighborhood kids and started as an entrepreneur. I think they went on to be a billionaire. Anyway, there's a lot of opportunity. What you do is you start walking around thinking, what annoys me? What needs doing? And then start doing it. Somebody will notice. Everybody's looking for somebody who gets out of bed and takes some initiative. I'm John Miglosh. Like and share. Your friends will think you're smart. Have a great day. Bye-bye.